Up to 70 with high fire danger, gusty winds for Friday. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Verse.
This report is sponsored by Brad vs. Everyone podcast.
Dangerous social media trends, media scandals, dumb TikTok boycotts, and more. Keep up with all the online stories mainstream media ignores by listening to the Brad vs. Everyone podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter, this morning at 10.
I've recovered hundreds of millions of dollars in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. Chances are I can help you. It really is the only show of its kind.
It's the Troubleshooter on 630 KHOW.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver. This is 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Today's report from the Labor Department shows the Consumer Price Index, the gauge used for inflation, increased 2.7% year over year. It's lower than expected, even though it doesn't feel like it to a lot of people, says ABC's Alexis Christoforous.
We're paying more for the basic essentials. Of course, we're away from that runaway inflation we saw, right, in 2022 when inflation was above 9%. But we are still paying more for essentials like food and rent and energy prices, which, by the way, were up more than 1% in this report.
President Trump's announcement last night that he was giving all service members a $1,776 signing bonus check before Christmas appears to be using money that already was allotted for housing allowances for members of the military, part of a bill that already passed Congress and has been just renamed as a so-called warrior dividend. A Boston area man sentenced to life in prison for the grisly murder of his wife, who disappeared nearly 3 years ago. Anna Walsh's body has never been found. This is ABC News. All done at the hearing over what evidence can be entered into the trial of accused CEO killer Luigi Mangione, but no decision. The defense is challenging key pieces of evidence they say were acquired improperly. The judge says he'll have a decision by May. Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter Peter Arnett has died. He started by covering the Vietnam War and became a war correspondent in many other conflicts, including covering the first Gulf War. In 1991, he talked about his time in Baghdad with ABC News.
After I'd interviewed Saddam Hussein, I became a local cult figure. The newspapers published my picture. They broadcast the interview on Baghdad radio. And I was called Mr. Peter. Wherever I went in Iraq, I was Mr. Peter.
Peter Arnett was 91 years old. The FTC is now reportedly investigating Instacart over allegations it was using AI to manipulate prices. A recent study found customers buying the same thing at the same store could pay wildly different prices. This is ABC News.
You know that feeling? Like every door is closing and you just can't see a way out? Being unemployed, underemployed, or just out of school feels a lot like that. But when you find the right tools, suddenly everything just clicks. Getting on that path may be easier than you think. A good place to start? Go to findsomethingnew.org. At findsomethingnew.org, you have access to resources that help develop new skills. Skills that will position you for careers in today's growing industries. From healthcare and manufacturing to cybersecurity and alternative energy. Plus, you can take advantage of online courses, certification programs, apprenticeships, and more. So you can take yourself from unemployed and uncertain to empowered and prepared for what's next. Find your path to a new career today. Visit findsomethingnew.org. A message from the Ad Council.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
Wind gusts surpassed 100 miles an hour in some areas yesterday, with tens of thousands losing power, in addition to the 50,000 XL customers who had planned shutoffs. More wind is in the forecast tomorrow, though not as severe as Wednesday.
Quite a bit cooler for your Thursday. Temperatures today in the mid-40s. It is going to still be breezy, but the wind really ramps up again for Friday with high fire danger once again, and a much warmer day with temperatures near 70 degrees. Then we settle into the 50s for the weekend.
That's Fox 31 meteorologist Kylie Burrs. Douglas County investigators have arrested a suspect wanted for a series of drive-by shootings at several car dealerships. The sheriff's office says the first shooting happened in November along County Line Road at C470. Subsequent shootings followed in the same area and always on Monday nights. Deputies set up a camera to help identify a suspect vehicle. 38-year-old Matthew Schwerman was arrested in Westminster. Damage to the dealerships estimated at around $54,000. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic.
Well, out east on I-70 for westbounders at E470, we've got a tie-up. This is the new Piccadilly interchange. It's been under construction for quite some time, so delays coming back in towards the city. We've got a crash northbound 25 up near 23rd Avenue. Right lane's blocked. It's actually backed up to 6th Avenue. And it looks like, maybe 270, a little slow, I-70 west from Colorado to Brighton also, but not too bad here. The Longmont-Boulder diagonal, that's 119 at J Road coming south. Through Longmont Boulder area is still backed up with lights being out. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
This report is sponsored by Supersure.
Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get super sure. Not kind of sure, not pretty sure, not a little sure, but super sure. The seismic shift is coming. Super sure, coming soon.
Looking for the ultimate wellness gift for someone you love this holiday? You found it. It's Viome. Viome. Viome is a personal, science-backed gut health test your loved ones can take right at home. Once they get their results, they'll know exactly what their body needs, what foods to eat, what to avoid, and the supplements that fit their unique biology. It's the gift of better digestion, clearer focus, and lasting energy. One they'll thank you for year after year. Go to Viome.com. That's V as in Victor, I-O-M-E. Viome.com.
Imagine cutting out the middleman when getting a new home loan. Whether it's a traditional mortgage, a reverse mortgage, a HELOC, or a refinance, CMG Financial is the leader. They're the bank. They can beat almost any rate out there. I'm consumer advocate Marc Mager. If you're looking for a home loan, you need to call CMG Financial. They're going to save you a ton of money. Don't let the other guys fool you. Go to partnerinlending.com. Partnerinlending.com.
Do you own a small business? A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get super sure.
Here's what's happening. There's no information about motive.
Brown University manhunt continues.
Zero.
Services in Australia.
You are not alone. We got you.
In Los Angeles.
Nick Reiner. First-degree murder.
Check in often.
The Talkback mic on our iHeartRadio app is just like your personal direct line to us.
I have John on the line.
Just tap that little microphone.
John on the line again.
While listening to Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Yeah. Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. What is going on in your life? It's just me and you. I don't have any guests today, which is great. I get to talk about, like I said, this time of year is a time of year we think back, don't we? A lot of us just think back this time of year. Through the year, I'll go over some of our more memorable calls and what we have done for people and what people have done for us and what you can do for yourself. And the goal of this show is very easy. Cut off and stop. Prevent ripoffs. God, I think that is one area where we all can come together. We all believe that no one should be ripped off. I mean, isn't that really a common belief? So we stem politics and religion and all of that. No one should take money and not do work. No one should be a liar and a cheater and a ripoff. And I've gone over the top complaints over the past year and what they have been and what they have been trending to be over the last several years. So all I'm going to do is ask you to give me a call. Weigh in on what you think we should talk about. Any problem you may have where you need advice. We have many, many experts we can tap for advice. We can ask questions. We can get them to work on stuff, or we can just shoot the breeze. So in our consumer life, we have buying and selling. We have contracting with professionals. We have career. We have all kinds of stuff. One of the biggest areas in our life, homes and cars, and the most common problems reflect that. Okay, do I have Marc Mager on today? I know that he's...
Yes!
Okay, are you on the road, sir?
On the road, no. I'm in studio. I'm sitting down here at the iHeart flagship.
Oh, I didn't know you came in today. I thought you were taking off. I'm sorry. So you are in the studio.
I am here.
Okay, so let's talk about our top consumer complaints. I went through all of our records. The number one, and by the way, if you have a complaint, we're going to add you to the list. We'll help you solve it. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. You can get right through. Somebody texted me and says, Tom, I thought about calling you, but I'm afraid. Sometimes you are mean to people. I don't think we're ever really mean to people. She was referencing this woman that called about her grandson breaking into her home and taking 300 bottles of wine and other things of value. And I believe she was paranoid and imagining it. Now, I will tell you, it is an amazing thing. I've had many close relatives. My mother was one of them as well. People, as they get older, some people, or when they're faced with a traumatic event or a combination of the two, they start imagining people either prying and spying or stealing, and they become paranoid. And the stories they tell are so incredible. And once in a while, it takes us a while to pick up on their paranoia. But they all have things in common. First of all, the stories sound incredible. It's like, well, how did they break in and do that without you noticing this? And how do they do it every day? And why aren't authorities on board with this? And Mark, I know you've noticed this, that the stories they come up with, my God, the stories they come up with to weave their tale. In yesterday's story, the woman said that her security system does not show anything because it was jammed, that her grandson must use a Wi-Fi jammer. And then I had a few other people calling saying, yeah, that's possible, Tom. By the way, I read some articles from police departments and security companies who have tested Wi-Fi jammers. And they say that they don't work most of the time, and they're not powerful enough to work. They have to be very, very close to the source. It's not something you can put on the side of the house and black out a house. And they're not commercially available. So people who said you can buy them on YouTube, they were absolutely wrong. I don't know if they were lying or just wanted to mislead us. But the bottom line is this. You can't buy Wi-Fi jammers legally. The ones you do buy legally are not strong enough to do a consistent jam. They cause interference at best and will never block out completely a camera or a system in your Wi-Fi. Now, I know a bunch of you paranoid people are going to say, oh, he's wrong. I know, I have him sitting right here in front of me. Well, I want you guys to call back, the ones who called yesterday and said that you had them and you bought them on Amazon, because I verified you don't buy them on Amazon. So they're not available. And the ones that are available, according to police and the FBI who have tested them, they don't work well at all. They're very low powered. And to get the kind of sophistication you need to do the kind of jamming that most people believe is out there, to get that kind of jamming, you have to have the sophistication of technology used by the CIA, the FBI, and other agencies. They're just not available. And so at most, as I said, they'll cause a little interference with your Wi-Fi. You might see a burble in the signal, and it has to be really close to the signal to jam it. So you don't put it on the side of a house like people were saying, and then it blacks out the house. It just doesn't. Your cameras will still work. Everything mostly works. And they said it's not as science fiction-y as people want to believe. I read many, many articles on them. So, and they said even recent reports that burglars are found with them might be true, but they don't work. Okay. So that's the bottom line. Or the ones that do work are so expensive and so technologically advanced that no normal burglar is going to use them, and especially her grandson wasn't going to use them. So I just did a lot of research on it. And again, I invite those people, the loudmouths who love to call in whenever we talk about paranoid stuff and conspiracy. I'll get people calling in. So call me now. Call me now. I defy you to tell me one place you can buy a Wi-Fi jammer. And again, my challenge goes out that you will not be able to jam Wi-Fi in a building. You might be able to cause a little interference here and there, but you're not going to be able to jam it and be invisible to a camera. And even if you did jam the camera and interfered with it, you would not be totally invisible. It would not show seamless transition. This one guy said, oh, yeah, you can have them that won't show any break in time, and the camera will be normal, and I can be invisible. Okay, that sounds like Mission Impossible, and it's not possible. In fact, it is Mission Impossible. But it just amazes me the number of people that want to believe in all of these paranoid devices. And it's mostly people who suffer from mental illness. They believe people are spying on them or put implants in their head or are coming into their home. Mark, are you constantly amazed at the lengths they go to make up the scenario and how people...
I feel bad for them more than anything. Like the woman yesterday, she sounds so...
normal.
I don't know.
Normal.
She is truthful to herself. There's a thing from Seinfeld that says, it's not a lie if you believe it. And that's the problem with that kind of mental illness. They actually believe it. I mean, you could put her on a lie detector test. She'd pass every single time. I don't know why people get so deranged.
I know. And it is derangement. It really is. But listen, I invite any and all calls. And again, it's not where we won't be mean, but we'll give you our honest to God impression. And in that case, this woman called and said her grandson keeps breaking into her home, taking things of value. He's a drug addict and a deadbeat. And he jams her Wi-Fi, so he's invisible in front of the camera. And she just gave this long story. And she says, oh, yeah, you can buy the jammers on Amazon, and you just can't. Then I had a guy call in after her saying, oh, yeah, I have 2 of them sitting in front of me right now. Not true. Okay, just not true. And the jammers, like I said, at best, are very weak and cause a weak interference in a Wi-Fi signal. And they really don't work. Okay, they really don't work like we're all thinking they work. I want to talk to Jim. By the way, our phone number when we're here in the studio is 303-713-TALK. That's the iHeart number, and you can get right through. Now, if you call 303-MARTINO, that number you can get through 24/7, and you can leave a message, and we, honest to God, will call you back. So it's flawless. If you need help, pass that number around, 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. Jim, what's going on in your life, Jim?
Yes, hello, Tom.
Hey,
can
Jim.
you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you. What's happening?
So my situation is, long-time listener. I met you once at a boxing show at the University of Denver many years ago.
Yeah.
Just in passing.
Yeah.
But,
I
anyway,
used to go to those boxing matches.
Yeah, Golden Gloves, right?
At DU. Yeah,
yes. In fact, I don't know if you're familiar with the guy. I know you probably know Manuel Lopez, Donnie Jerome, maybe. I was working Donnie Jerome's corner that night at DU. He was Sugar Ray Leonard had a fighter there, and I was at the University of Denver.
So what's happening?
So what's happening is I'm in Indianapolis, and I have a friend of mine. She is from Thailand, and her English is pretty good, but not well enough for radio. So I helped her get a judgment at Regions Bank here in Indianapolis. They were holding $600 of her. And when I would go into the bank and say, well, why don't you release these funds to her? They were saying, well, we think it's fraud.
Okay, hold on, Jim.
What? They didn't give me no specifics.
Jim, is this her bank account at this place they were holding?
Yes.
Did they just close her account suddenly?
No. So the account is what they call frozen.
Right. So we've covered this before, by the way, and this is where banks have been doing this all over the country for various reasons, just arbitrarily and spontaneously closing people's account, saying it's fraud or it's suspicious, and people don't know what to do. So she had $600 in this account.
Yes, and she still does. I just talked to the manager this morning, and I said, can you please, I said, what's the status? And he says, well, it's in our legal department. And I said, well, what does that mean it's in your legal department? I said, can I get a name, a phone number, an email, somebody that I can contact to let them know that I've got this judgment? And then also last week I went in, they took copies of the judgment from the county court here.
Did they show up at the court, or did they ignore it?
No, they ignored it, so they lost by default.
Okay. All right.
And so I went to the bank. I gave them the judgment. They made copies of everything. I said, here's the our court costs, the $600 in the account. We just want the money. He said, we'll turn it over to legal. Well, now 30 days goes by, and it's like they won't give me a name, a phone number, an email for anybody at legal. It's like I said, so you just need me to wait for these guys to contact me? I said, I need to be proactive in this. I'm not going to sit around for 6 months while you guys.
Look, all you got to do, we got to take a break, but here's the bottom line, brother. It's pretty simple, man. You got to serve them with interrogatories. Walk right up to the counter, serve them just like you did for small claims court. They're going to have 30 days to fill them in. Most likely they're going to pay the $600 in. And if they don't, the judge is going to be very upset.
Yeah, I mean, there is a process, Jim, for collecting. Hold on a sec. Hold on. I gotta take this break. Just wait, okay? Because I don't want to rush you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Get your water system, waterpros.net. The best water system. Listen to this. $2,500 for a whole house water softening computerized system. $2,500. Now, if you want a whole house softener plus reverse osmosis at the kitchen sink, you can get that too. The reverse osmosis is only $1,100 fully installed, or a whole house filter for removing forever chemicals, chlorine, lead, and bacteria, $21.95. Here's the message. You'll never get better systems at lower prices than Water Pros. 303-862-5554.
Thank you. So who's doing Genesis?
I'll do it. Oh, I mean, yeah, I'll do it.
Fabulous.
I don't see it. I don't see it, but I'll get it.
3 hours. Did I do it wrong? Is it on the wrong sheet?
No, I just don't see what he's going to talk about. But I can.
We haven't gotten a hold of him yet. Give us a sec.
Network chef Aaron May.
Thank you. If you want to go make coffee, I'll holler when he's ready.
Games off right with the Broncos VIP tailgate. Tickets on sale.
It's coming up in this break, though, right?
Yes, sir.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes,
Mark is doing something on Zoom. He'll be back.
$200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or visit BigLou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit BigLou.com.
Do you know what you will never hear when using Frank Duran, the real estate man?
Profanity.
No fluff and no...
Right? Frank doesn't cuss.
Never.
That's what's important to me.
That's weird.
He guarantees results.
I back you up with a true written performance guarantee.
Backed by a team of experts, but he oversees every deal.
I'm with you every step of the way.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622 with RE/MAX Alliance.
Don't trust your biggest financial investment with just anyone.
Well, not to over-explain this, but we just talked to Szymanski. He says that Marc Mager is going to do the ad for him, and then Mark just ran off to do a Zoom call. So we're trying to get him back.
Well, what did he mean Mark's going to do it for him?
Szymanski said that Major's going to do it for him. Okay, rules have changed. Say it. Kelly? Tom needs to do it.
And-
Wind and hail damage.
Okay, got it.
from-
Is Mark going to be on or not?
Not at all.
Okay,
no, he's
got it.
engaged in some
Then
Zoom
I'll do
meeting
it.
and he's out.
Then I'll
Thank
do
you,
it.
30 or 25 away.
Uses cutting
So I gotta do 2 minutes.
And natural biologics to
Yes, sir.
All right, got
repair
it.
damaged tissue.
I trusted them with my joints. Now I'm back doing what I love.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
Hey, did you hear that freaking wind last night? Oh my God. And then also all afternoon as well. Listen, if you had roof shingles blow off, or you even had siding problems, some people are reporting siding problems. There's good news. I like talking about Genesis Total Exteriors because this show deals a lot with contractors, bad contractors who take money up front and don't do anything, or bad roofers who do shoddy work, or worse, take your money and never show up again. Here's what I love about Genesis Total Exteriors. I've known Marc Szymanski way more than 20 years, maybe 25, maybe longer. Here's the thing. Genesis Total Exteriors does everything on the outside of your home. So if you have a roof claim, a siding claim, windows, doors, painting, decks, fences, whatever, he can handle it all. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everything. That's why the name Genesis Total Exteriors.com. But here's something cool. He can also do the inside of your house. So let's say you have some exterior damage and you need some interior work done too. He can do it all. But here is really the real deal. He does more than just insurance work. He'll do any home improvement you need. So whether it's an insurance claim, or whether it's home improvements, or you just want to spruce up the place, GenesisTotalExteriors.com, 303-679-8509. What he can do is put everything on one invoice, one point of contact, so you don't have multiple contractors coming in and out. 303-679-8509. 8509, GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
How did you get so awesome?
Oh, I love Genesis.
Okay, well, that was awesome. So now we're just like 15 seconds away
All right.
from coming back. Hang on, man.
This is Everyone Podcast.
Social media trends, media scandals, dumb
She's still working on Frank Ball.
stories mainstream media ignores by listening to the Brad versus
Thank you. We'll let you know.
Heart Radio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I have to tell you, this thing about fraud and banks is getting out of hand. If you've listened to this show, in fact, it's one of our trending problems for the year. More and more people are just finding out they can't get access to their bank account, and they get no communication. Listen, if a bank truly suspected that your checking or savings account was fraudulent, or there was curious or fraudulent activity, all they would have to do is let you know and at least communicate with you. Instead, they freeze your account. You get no communication except when you say, hey, I can't use my account. I have money in there I can't get to. I have to pay the mortgage. I have to do this. I have to do that. And all they say is, I'm sorry, fraudulent activity suspected. It's just weird. They just close or freeze your account. There's got to be something done about this on the federal level even, because banks are doing it all over the country. In fact, Jim is calling from another state. We're headquartered here, for those who've been listening, in Colorado, but we handle problems all over the country. And Jim, they said fraudulent. So they got pissed off. Jim is helping his friend out. So for all intents and purposes, we're talking about his friend. But Jim, he takes him to small claims court. His friend does, right? They get a judgment for $600. It was a default judgment. The bank didn't even bother showing up. So now they have a judgment for $600 against the bank. She wants her money. What's really weird is I don't know what that $600 is. Is it for her money in the bank, or is it just a damage? I don't even know what it is or how the judge worded it. But you have a judgment and they're refusing to even acknowledge you. This is how frustrating. What's the name of the bank?
The name of the bank is Regions, Regions.
Oh, Regions. Okay. Now, and it was totally when did you get this judgment?
I got it October 31st.
Okay. On Halloween, right? Is that Halloween?
Yeah, and then they told me I had to wait like 30 days, and then I can go approach the bank and get the money. Then when I went to the bank, I get the run around. It's in legal. Legal would contact me, but I figured, nah, I'm not going to, because I know I listen to you. I know this bank thing is going on for a while, and I want to be proactive. But to Mark's point about the interrogatories, when I went to the small claims court, they said, yeah, go grab these papers and fill it out. Well, the papers were for the banking information, as they were.
No, I get it. No, I get it. The interrogatories don't fit these circumstances. What interrogatories are, for anyone who gets a judgment, interrogatories are questions you ask the other person. By the way, there are no set questions. They just recommend the questions, but you can ask whatever you want pertaining to the case. And the whole purpose of interrogatories or questions is to find out where their money is so you can go after it. With a bank, it's not going to work that well. You simply, with interrogatories with a bank, you simply ask where her money is, where the $600 is, and when you're going to get it. I mean, you make it simple, because they're not going to.
It's in her savings account.
Well, I get it, but I mean, you got to ask something in the interrogatories, and it's not going to be a normal interrogatory because they're not trying to hide money from you. Are you telling me there is no one at that bank, when you show them that judgment, that cares?
They don't care. They just said it's our legal department now has it, and and I said, well, give me somebody's information, phone, email. They won't give me any information to contact them. They say they'll contact you. But this has been going on for 6 to 10 months now. And,
yeah, you know what? Wait. What do you mean 6 to 10? You said you got your judgment in October.
Yes, but before that, we kept going in and saying, why can't we get that money? And they say, well, it's fraud. And I said, well, show us where the fraud is. They wouldn't show me any fraud. They kept just saying it's fraud. And finally, I got fed up, Tom, and I followed Mark's advice. And let's just take it to the small claims court. So now we got the judgment. Fast forward to today. I know what you're saying about those interrogatories, but you're saying so. The sheet that they gave me is looking for bank account information, but this is a bank.
No, I understand.
And that's where I'm running into my roadblock and hoping that you might be able to give me at least a little more direction than those interrogatories.
If it was me, what I would do is I would go to the bank and say, if you don't answer this, okay, and then I'm going to file for contempt. I would go to the judge and simply, in a very simple letter to the judge, just say, I am being ignored. Just plain, what do I do next? Here's the thing. You may want to give it to a collection attorney to help you, or she may want to give it to a collection attorney. Again, it's $600. I don't understand it. Her account has been frozen all this time, and she's never, ever gotten any information. There's no one at the bank that will give her information on why her account was frozen. What did it come after some suspicious activity? Did she get wires to her account? Tell me what happened in her account that they called it suspicious.
So exactly what happened was back in January of 2025, she deposited a check, and the check was signed January 2024. They missed the date. So the date was right, but the year was wrong. And so they deposited the check, and then they noticed somehow that the date was from 2024, should have been 2025. So then they froze the account because of that.
That's when it started. Okay, usually there is something that happens. And when they froze it, they did not say, here's how you get your money or anything like that. Nothing.
No, and so I couldn't get any support from the manager. You go in and talk to the guy. Oh, he's nice as the day is long, but getting any information from him, nothing. So now, as far as those interrogatories go, Mark, Tom, I'm looking at it says defendant's name, employer's address, case number, and banker's name, bank's address.
I would just put down what you could, and then just in the interrogatories, you ask, where is the money from her account being held? In what bank, and where is it being held? And when can she receive it? You don't have to ask the questions that are on there. You can ask whatever you want. The point is, you want to ask questions because they're going to ignore them. And when they do, you can use that to get a contempt of court.
Okay.
So, but ask the questions germane. For example, where is her money previously held in this account number so-and-so being held now? The judgment was rendered on such and such. When can she expect payment? How will the payment be made? See, ask those kinds of questions. Are you trying to withhold this money from her? Do you have a reason? What is the reason? See, you ask those kinds of questions, the questions you would have asked when they came to court. They have to answer questions. And again, the whole purpose is to get these interrogatories filed. If they ignore them, there's going to be a contempt citation. I mean, you just have to keep going back to the judge and get somebody pissed off. Right now, you're in the very beginning stages. I don't know. Yeah. I would personally go to a collections attorney and see if a collections attorney feels they can get attorney's fees because of how ridiculous it is. I'm telling you, Jim, I'm so frustrated just talking about this because banks just can do this and we have no power. We just have no power, and they just think they're bigger than the court system, but they're not. Eventually, the system will catch up with them, and they will. Listen, when a judge orders something, it's not going to be fooling around. When he orders contempt, he can put that manager in jail. I mean, it's not a small thing, but you have to go through the steps. Again, we tried to get a hold of our collection attorney. He's in court. He can't speak right now. But what we're going to do is see if we can get him on maybe later or tomorrow. If not, just do what I've said, right? The beginning part. And then let's see what happens. See if you can get at least them to ignore the system. The interrogatories. My computer just froze up. We have to take a break. I'm Tom Martino. More coming right up.
Yep.
Damn it. I'm having a real problem here. I don't have
This is Denver's talk station with Tom Martino now.
I'm going to have to reboot everything. What commercial? Okay. Do you have a tape Denver. You can run for this?
Yep. Get out.
All right. I have to reboot.
Get out.
Impact traffic.
No, he's